I used to think people that said that were a bit corny and like this whole like evil eye thing. Like, why is everybody so scared of evil eye? Like, what is evil eye when there's Jesus? Hey guys, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. I do apologize for my absence, but we're going to get into it in this video. So if you want to know why I was gone, then just stay tuned, right? So, as I'm filming this, today is Monday, the 1st of December 2025. And 30 days ago, on the 1st of November, I made the decision that I was going to write something every day on Substack for 30 days. I didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't advertise it on my social media. I didn't really tell my friends. It wasn't something where I was encouraging people to follow me. I didn't bring anyone into the journey essentially. And the reason for that is because, truthfully, I didn't actually believe that I could do it. I'm someone that's interested in a lot of things. And if you're anything like me, where you'll describe yourself as a multi passionate, multifaceted, multi interested individuals, you'll find that you're quite good at exploring these interests and getting started in them, but you might not have a lot of history or evidence to suggest that you could commit to things. And for me, the biggest one, and it almost became quite shameful for me, was this YouTube channel. I've always said how much I love content, but my commitment, my output didn't always measure up with what my words were saying. And so for a long time, I was very quietly considering and contemplating just deleting this channel and continuing with my life as if none of this happened, none of this was real. But thanks to my amazing friends and with a lot of prayer, honestly, we're still here. But I realized that if I was going to do this, I needed to change the narrative that's in my mind about what I can and can't do. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to set myself some kind of challenge as proof. And so, therefore, 30 days ago, I said, I'm going to write something every single day for 30 days. It was a pretty multi layered decision. There are a lot of elements to it that kind of made me do it. I wouldn't outright say necessarily it was like a divine thing in that moment, but I think in hindsight now I can see God's hand on it, and I'll kind of get into that in a little bit. But I also have really grown to love Substack as a platform because you can learn so much there, but you can also just read to enjoy it. So if anyone doesn't know what Substack is, it's like a blog platform. I don't even know if that's an appropriate way to describe it because you can post video on there, but people usually go on there to read and to write. And I think I just love it so much because it's people there encourage you, like the kind of community it has, people encourage you to slow down and create, which I just think is really, I just think is everything I stand for, especially the way other platforms have become quite intense in recent alterations and times as things are evolving, things are becoming very, very quick and very in your face and very instant. Substack is like, get a coffee, tea, if you're like me and don't drink those, hot chocolate, and just read something chill. And it's just really enjoyable over there. As well as that, it allowed me to slow down, be a bit more still at different points in my day, and allow my brain to generate ideas of what I could actually write about. Now, I think there were 2 days out of the 30 days where I genuinely had nothing to say. And so I think I shared the resources that I was enjoying. But for the most part, like everything I wrote was off the dome, very much inspired by the Holy Spirit. I didn't have any kind of target for what I was writing about. I had some entries about AI and the future of work. I had a lot of entries about faith. But it was just an opportunity for me to kind of build that skill of writing and engage my brain as much as possible in this AI age that we are existing in, right? But ultimately, the goal wasn't for me to blow. The goal wasn't for me to gain popularity and get subscribers on there and likes and restacks and all. Like that was the least of my concerns. The goal was for me to ultimately prove to myself that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I did that. Round of applause for me. I don't know if they still do that in primary school, but we used to do period. With all that being said and all that kind of backstory and context, this is why I think you should do the same thing. Now, it doesn't even have to be writing for 30 days. Whilst I do encourage everybody to have a Substack, I think, I really think Substack and YouTube are my two favorite platforms. Well, Substack, YouTube, and Pinterest. Those are my big three. I love them the most. As much as I spend more time on other places, those are my big three. So it doesn't have to be writing, but I think everyone should have a Substack anyway. But I have 5 reasons why I think you should do something like this for yourself. The first one is that 30 days is just enough time for you to fall in love with the process of doing it, but it's not too long to where you'll burn out. It's good because you'll still be stretched because life is busy, right? Like you have a lot of things going on. You're still going to be stretched, but it's still very much doable in your day. Second reason is once you do it, you'll really start to believe there's nothing that you can't do. Like you kind of get into this frenzy, a positive frenzy of what's the next goal or next mini challenge I can complete. Like right now, I'm thinking, what am I going to do for this month of December? I'm thinking to do something around steps, but I'm like, I know that will push me because it's so cold in the UK. Like winter came really fast. And so I'm very much someone that likes to be indoors in my house. But I want to see if I can stretch myself to set a realistic but still extensive goal of myself in December, something. But in my head, it's like I have so much more confidence doing this because I have just finished a 30-day challenge where I did something I said I was going to do. Third reason you should do it is because it allows you to build trust with yourself. And I think this, for me, is probably the most important reason and my why for even doing this in the first place. Because what I've realized is a lot of people can praise you and tell you you're doing so well. But when you yourself know that you're slacking, that kind of the external positivity, but the internal reality of what you're living can be quite an intense place to live because it's like in my head I know this is not true, and so I can never fully receive what other people are telling me that they can see about me when I know that in myself there's more I can be doing. And I think the more that I realize that the most important voice besides God's is mine, the more I realize that I have the responsibility of building up my mind enough and fortifying my mind enough to know that at the end of the day, it's my responsibility to change the narrative I'm telling myself. And the best way to build that confidence is to build trust by doing things you say you're going to say, or by doing things you say you're going to do, rather. The more you break promises to yourself, the less confident of a person you'll be. I know that firsthand, right? And so it doesn't matter what other people say to you. If you don't believe it, then what are we really doing here, right? The fourth reason is that integrity is everything. It's so easy these days to be flaky. Like I have so many different gripes with things I see on social media, and I always look at my own self as well. And I'm like, Kamsi, are you being a good friend? Are you being a person of your word? Because it's easy to just say, hey, I don't really want to do this today. I don't want to show up for you today because I'm not feeling it for one reason or another. And so as people are becoming more flaky, it's important that you become a person of integrity so that not only when you say something you believe it, but people around you also believe it. And just keep your word. It's an important way to live your life. I don't even know how else to explain it. I feel like it goes without saying. It's important to be a person of integrity. And the fifth one, I said four, but the fifth one, which I think is really cool, is that by maybe day 5, metrics just began to lose power. When you realize that as soon as I schedule this post, I have to prepare my mind to write something again for the next day. And I was trying to batch create as much as possible, but there were just stints where I was writing one entry a day, right? When you realize at the end of the day, as soon as I click post, I need to start thinking about what I'm going to say tomorrow. Likes, restacks, reshares, notes, comments, all of those things lose power because it doesn't matter who sees it or who doesn't. I know that myself that I've shown up. And so as soon as I click send for that thing to go, I don't have time to be concerned with the performance of the post. I just need to be concerned with my outputs in terms of what I put into it. What comes out of it is not my business. It's not my concern. Whatever happens will actually happen. Those are 5 reasons I think you should do something like this. Honestly, you guys can all thank Substack for being the reason that I'm back on YouTube. And if you want, you guys could subscribe to me on there. I will be writing again. I don't know, I won't be writing every day for the next 30 days, but you can follow me on there. I shared some pretty fun thoughts, and it was kind of nice to be able to be honest about my thoughts. I'll be bringing some of those to YouTube as well, just in general. But go subscribe to the Liberation Collective on Substack. I think with 2026 on the horizon and just me currently leaning into the excitement and the newness of a new year. Like, I'm literally filming this on a new week in a new month, and next month is a new year. Like, it's just so exciting. And I'm not listening to the haters that say, oh, the new year, new me crowd. Like, sorry, let people be excited. I'm very excited. It's going to be a very good year. And this is your sign, like me, to switch up the narratives you tell yourself, because it's so important to take control of your mind. It's so important how much flows from there. Kind of just even learning this in church recently, how much flows from your mind and how important it is to be the person to define the voice in your mind and not letting the thoughts define your worldview. It's important. And so build that evidence with yourself. Whatever you got to do something for the next 30 days and just see, you know? Every time I realize I'm old enough to change my life or change things about myself that I don't like, I just think, Kamsi, you just have to get to work. And this was an example of me getting to work. I'm very, very proud of myself, if I do say so myself. Anyway, next few videos are likely to be older uploads that I didn't put out in my little YouTube funk. So I apologize, but I hope you guys enjoy them anyway. I will be actively thinking about and planning content again as well, which I think is something that made content creation so hard. I wasn't planning what I was putting out when it was being put out, and just kind of being more organized with it. So I'm hoping that with that, and also with God giving me a bit more of a blueprint as to what I'm doing here, that you guys will be seeing more and more of me in general. But yeah, go do something cool today. And don't even tell anyone about it. Don't tell anyone you're doing it until it's done. I used to think people that said that were a bit corny and like this whole like evil eye thing. Like, why is everybody so scared of evil eye? Like, what is evil eye when there's Jesus? But I think it's more so about avoiding that dopamine rush of sharing your plans prematurely. Go ahead and do something. My content is kind of changing as I'm allowing myself to lean into my interests, and new things will be coming in 2026 that I will be documenting with you guys as well. So stay tuned. I might be sharing things about books. I might be sharing things about just topics I'm interested in. Like, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to just chat and share what I'm learning and help where I can and have fun and live life, be better. Because, I know somehow we're going to get there and feel so wonderful. But yeah. Anyway, God bless, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.